Hello everybody, this is Herd85, welcome back, episode number 6. We are in the year 2026, playing as WCW. So we're going to dive straight into it behind the curtain. So we open up with the Shane McMahon's office. Billy Kidman is standing at the door, seemingly waiting. The door opens and Shane McMahon emerges. He's got a satisfied smile on his face. Behind him, looking a little rumpled, but with a mischievous grin, is none other than the bad boy himself, Joey Janela. Shane McMahon, Joey, it was a pleasure. We here at WCW have big plans for unconventional talent, and I know you're about as unconventional as they come. Joey, shaking Shane's hand, grinning widely. Pleasure's all mine, Shane O'Mac. Heard you're looking for guys who aren't afraid to get a little extreme. You know, smash some stuff, take some bumps, and maybe even throw a few chairs. I figured, where else would a bad boy be than the new WCW? Shane chuckles, a gleam in his eye, he claps Joey Janela on the shoulder. Precisely. I believe your reputation precedes you, Joey, and with the new Hardcore Championship back in WCW, well, let's just say there's a lot of opportunities opening up for guys like you. Joey nods, his eyes darting through the hallway with a mixture of excitement and a hint of chaos. Joey, opportunities, huh? Sounds like my kind of party. Shane knowingly winks. Joey then nods to Kidman, gives a slight, almost impeccable bow to Shane, and saunters off down the hallway, whistling a slightly off-key tune. Shane watches him go, with a bit of a smile on his face before turning to Kidman. Shane says, get him a contract, Billy, and maybe a warning about using office furniture for anything other than sitting. You know, they put people through tables. Kidman shakes his head with a slight grin to the camera. Shane's looking very pleased with his new acquisition. So we're going to bring in Joey Janela only on a pay per appearance deal because I think he books GCW. Do you want to interfere on there? 59%. Again, we go backstage to a segment involving Karrion Kross and a pre-tape segment with Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett is actually the one doing some talking. Tick-tock goes the clock, and for every passing second, the beautiful chaos in the World Championship Wrestling grows. Some stumble, some rise, some claw their way to momentum triumph, and all the while, we watch from the shadows, from the background. We observe every move, every betrayal, every broken alliance, every desperate reach for glory. It's truly magnificent spectacle, isn't it? She lets out a low, almost delighted chuckle, Kross remaining absolutely still behind her, his gaze piercing. Scarlett again. The women's division tearing itself apart, so many fragile egos, so much raw, untamed aggression, and the men, oh the men, so quick to forget the hands that guide their destiny, so eager to believe their moment is their own. Let them fight, let them tear each other down, let them think they understand the game they're playing, because in time, when the chaos is at its peak, when the pieces are scattered and broken, this is when the true players emerge, and this is when we make our move. The harvest will be plentiful. Scarlett leans back slightly and her hand subtly brushing Kross's arm. He's unspoken, but the connection between the two is palpable. The ticking sound intensifies and then the abruptly cuts out and fades to black. So that was another chilling promo from the Killer Kross, or Karrion Kross I should say, and Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett with the speech there, and we got a good 84. They are very much smashing my ratings in segments. Backstage, we show footage from last week when Dolph Ziggler retained the WCW United States title. He's sweating, breathing heavily, clearly proud of retaining the championship as he makes his way to a quiet area for the backstage. He clutches his championship, smile on his face. Suddenly a massive figure steps out of the shadow, leaning cautiously against the wall. It's none other than Kevin Nash. Ziggler is initially startled, stops short, a wary look crossing his face. Big Kev. Hey champ, hell of a match out there. You still got it, kid. Always knew you did. Ziggler thanks Nash. Always appreciate the praise from a legend. Nash. Legend, huh? Yeah, maybe. But also a guy who knows talent when he sees it. And I like a guy like you. Putting on 5-star performances. Carrying that title with pride. I've got to wonder. Is this it? Is this all there is for Dolph Ziggler? United States Champion? Or do you see bigger opportunities out there? More influence, more power, a different kind of legacy. Ziggler gaze shifts, he's a bit curious, mix of suspicion. He looks from the US title in his hand to Nash's face, pondering the unspoken implications. Nash, think about it, kid. There's a lot changing around here. A lot of the old ways, new blood, but some things are forever. Nash slowly raises his arm, making the unmistakable for life hand gesture, holding it for a beat. His eyes locked on Ziggler, gave Ziggler one last, almost imperceptible nod, a knowing smirk, then turns and slowly walks away, disappearing back into the shadows in which he emerged. Ziggler is left standing alone in the hallway, weight of Nash's words and gesture hanging in the air. So effectively we've now got the NWO and the Rogue Horsemen trying to pick up Ziggler for their group, 70 overall. We go back to Shane McMahon's office, still with Billy Kidman, who's got a clipboard, standing patiently, looking a bit stressed. Okay, Kidman, did you see that last week? All the mayhem, the women's division is a powder keg, I love it. And we can't have the kind of uncontrollable chaos every week. We need to channel the energy, the aggression into something productive. Kidman, productive chaos, boss? Got it. I've been thinking about it all night. Ronda and Shayna, Alexa and Nattie, and the evolution. They clearly want to tear each other apart. The next logical step would be to do a triple threat tag team match and let them duke it out. Shane, yeah, triple threat tag, you say? I like it, Kidman. I like it a lot. But logical? That's not really the WCW way. We need to give the people something they've never seen before. We need to add some spice. Forget pinning, forget submissions. Then, when you want to settle a score between 3 teams that hate each other, when you want to break them, you don't just fight in the ring, you fight through the ring, or better, through a table. Kidman, a table match for all 3 teams? Boss, that's intense. Shane, intense? No, Kidman, that's extreme. On this week's Thunder, it will be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler against Alexa Bliss and Nattie Neidhart against the Evolution in a triple threat tables match. The only way to win is to put both members of the team through the tables. Now, that's how you get people talking, Billy. Get the memo out. Get those tables ready. This Thursday, WCW Thunder is going to be absolutely smashed. And I only got a 62, but I like the fact that people get over when they're not even in the segment. So for backstage, we put a 68, but we've built up some matches for Thunder. So we'll have a little glance at some of the results that come through. We've got Impact to look at, I guess. Let's go for my news first. Yeah, it's consistently 684,000 on YouTube. Got some signings on the independents here. TNA have ended a broadcasting agreement on Impact Plus. So let's have a look at Impact. We'll go. What we've got here. Macklin still the international champion, beating Moose. We've got. Oh look, Kaylin King's back. She beat Victoria Crawford. Rosemary beat Miley Grace. Tag team titles on the line. Women's knockout division. Inspiration retain. Main event, we have the men's tag team titles as the Hardys defeat Joe Hendry and Matt Cardona. So not so bad. Right, next up will be WCW Thunder, headlined, well not headlined, but we have a triple threat tag team tables match. So, you now join us on Thunder. We have a pre-show match here. Dakota Kai defeating Isla Dawn, 1.5 star 61. Second pre-show match, we got the Street Profits defeating, Bravo and Rayo Americano. Potentially the British Strong Style. This is a 3-star match and got a 65. So we go on to the main show. We cut backstage to Dolph Ziggler, still holding the WCW United States Championship, looking thoughtful and somewhat conflicted. He's talking quietly with Arn Anderson and the Rogue Horseman. Arn is clearly offering cancel. Arn, son, you got a choice. You can build something real, something with integrity, a legacy which means something. Or you can chase the fleeting shine. You saw what happened. Loyalty is everything, Dolph. Dolph nods, considering Arn's words. When a familiar, slow, deliberate swagger enters the frame, it's Kevin Nash. He approaches the group, a cool, almost amused smirk on his face. He doesn't immediately speak to Ziggler, a slight, knowing nod of acknowledgement. He gazes, shifts to Arn, his voice, Arn. Arn then goes, Kevin. The air between these two officers. The air between is thick and with the unspoken history, a silent understanding passing between the two veterans. Nash holds Arn's gaze for a beat, then offers another imperceptible nod to Ziggler before turning it and casually walking off, disappearing around the corner. His presence, however brief, leaves a palpable mark. Arn then turns back to Ziggler. Think about it, Dolph. Really think about it. Ziggler looks after Nash, then back at Arn, clearly caught between the two different philosophies. Brock and Elijah exchange uneasy gazes, sensing the tension. Suddenly, a smooth, more confident figure steps into the frame, a half-eaten apple in his hand. It's Carlito. He takes a bite, chews slowly, and surveys the scene with almost arrogant detachment. He looks at Arn, then the Andersons, then back at Ziggler, who stares back, annoyed by the interruption. Carlito takes another slow bite, then points directly at Ziggler's WCW United States Championship. Now that's cool. Ziggler smiles, a glint in his eye. He tosses the apple core over his shoulder without a care, leaving Ziggler just standing there, his expression a mix of frustration and now a new challenger has emerged. The camera focuses on the US title and then Ziggler's face as a segment face. So we're bringing in Carlito. He's getting involved in the storyline with Dolph Ziggler. 80 we got, that's a very good angle. We are now at the WCW announce table. We have a montage of highlights. Shane McMahon agreeing, got the roster. Maro, welcome everyone to WCW Thunder. I'm alongside the legendary Booker T and incompatible Velvet Sky. And what a night we have in store for you. Booker, sucky ducky quack quack. You know it, Maro, the energy in the building is off the charts tonight. And for a good reason, this is no ordinary Thunder. Velvet. That's right, gentlemen, we're just minutes away from an absolutely groundbreaking triple threat tables match in the women's division. We've got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss, Nattie Neidhart, and the Evolutions, Kouki and Stevie Turner. One team will be left standing and driven, and the other team will be driven through the table. Mara and D-Velvet, that's all tonight. WCW management confirm a colossal tag team main event. In the shocking terms of the event, the reigning champion Damian Priest will be forced to team with his rival, the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Whoa, wait a minute. Player, Priest and Strowman teaming up? You gotta be kidding me. That ain't gonna end well. Morrow then says it certainly creates an intriguing dynamic, Booker, and their opponents are two men who've been on a destructive path, looking for a major statement in WCW, Baron Corbin and Dijak, collectively known as the Skyscrapers. Velvet, this is huge for Corbin and Dijak, a chance to prove they can hang with and maybe even defeat the top of the food chain in WCW. But can Priest and Strowman possibly coexist long enough to get the job done? Now, this is the $1 million question, Velvet. We've got to find out tonight on Thunder. We've got packed cards, intense rivalries, and an unpredictable night ahead. And we've got an 83 for that segment. So we open with Trevor Lee defeating Brooks Jensen from WWE Evolve, I believe he's in. 1 star 51. The tag team champions, Ivar and Eric, defeat Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights. This got a 3 star 56. We are backstage with Shane McMahon with a grin on his face. He's pacing slowly, barely containing his excitement. Kidman, notebook in hand, slight hand. Shane says, Kidman, can you believe the night we're having? The crowd is electric. You know what I'm most hyped for right now? Our next match. Kidman, indeed, Shane. Joey Janela's debut. A lot of buzz around this one. Shane, debut? It's not just a debut, Billy. It's a hardcore debut. We are creating chaos. We are talking carnage. This kid's gonna make a statement. You watch. This is the beginning. And Billy says, tell me, Billy, how many times have I told you this is a new era of WCW? This is where stars are made, where legends are reborn. So get ready, because Joey Janela is just the first wave. I want you to expect more in the coming weeks. We're going to see a deluge of fresh talent, new faces, and completely unpredictable moments. WCW is building something special, Kidman, and everyone's invited to the party. Kidman says, more debuts, Shane. You're certainly keeping things interesting. Shane says, interesting, Billy. We've redefined the game. Now, if you excuse me, I've got to find a good spot to watch this hardcore madness unfold. Let's go. We got 62 for that little segment. Probably should have placed this a bit better, but Zarya versus Saray. Zarya wins. 3.5 star match, 63. There it is. Here's Joey Janela's debut. He defeats Psycho Clown and Richard Holiday. Triple threat match in a hardcore match. As you can see in the comments, we've got some people saying they didn't style well to the match. This was legit a hardcore match. So Janela, we're going to give him a slow little push. 2.5 stars, 62. Backstage, we have Dijak and Corbin looking focused and determined, walking towards the gorilla position. Talking strategy. Corbin, just remember Dijak, Priest may be champion, but he's got Strowman breathing down his neck. They're a ticking time bomb. We just gotta be there when they explode. Dijak agreed they're not a team, they're two wolves forced into the same cage. We are a unit. We exploit that weakness and we will take out the biggest threats in WCW tonight. As they turn the corner, a figure steps out from the shadows, blocking their path. It's none other than Karrion Kross. Dijak and Corbin stop, surprised by the sudden appearance. They exchange a glance, sensing the menace radiating from Kross. Kross then says, tonight, the chaos continues, and I will be watching. He holds his gaze, it's a bit unsettling. Corbin and Dijak watch him go, a mix of unease and heightened aggression in their faces. Corbin basically calls him a creep. Dijak, let him watch, let everybody watch, because tonight they'll see what happens when the future crashes into the past. They nod at each other and regain their focus and look to walk towards the arena. This will be for later. 79 we got for that. Singles match, we have Tessa Blanchard actually picking up a win, defeating Starlight Kid. This was a good match, 3 star, and we got 59. Tag team, Hayabusa, who I've picked up, tagging with Ultimo Dragon, taking on the Private Party themselves, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and the Private Party get the win. 3 star and 60. So we have a hype video. The screen goes dark. We've got pulsating beat, sharp WCW logo flashes. A voiceover says, "In every revolution, there are those that break the rules, and there are those that steal the spotlight." First, quick shots of Nash Carter, aka Zachary Vance. You see him doing high fly maneuvers. He's the show stealer. One, an artist of anarchy, defying expectation, refusing to conform. Then the visual shifts to Gigi Dolan. She has her rebellious style upon her. The voiceover then goes, "The other, a master of momentum, commanding a presence, captivating the crowd. But together, they are something more. A new synergy, a new statement. They don't just want to be seen, they want to be feared." And then on the screen we get Nash Carter, Gigi Dolan, coming soon to WCW Thunder. 75. So these are a real life couple, so I'm bringing them in as a couple. 75 we got for that. In a tag team match, Johnny Gargano grating us with his presence to help get Sean Skywalker over. In a tag team match, they defeated Dragon Lee and Javon Evans. 3.5 star, 63. Braun Breaker, breaking body still, beat Sean Legacy, 2 star, 63, and that really put Braun over there. Dominant victory. Right, we get a backstage cut. First we see shots of Ronda Rousey wrapping her hands, her face a mask of fierce concentration. Shayna Baszler standing beside her, ready for their fight. We also, the camera then shifts to the locker room of Alexa Bliss. She's got a smirk on her face. Nattie Neidhart is standing next to her looking focused. Bliss gives a slight unsettling giggle as Nattie flexes her arms. They head off. Nattie looks serious. Bliss looks like she's about to play. And in the first shot we are with the Evolution. Kouki is adjusting her entrance gear, confident smile across her face. Stevie stands with her arm crossed, clearly ready for a fight. All three teams are clearly on their way to the ring, their individual demeanours highlighting different approach to the impending brutality. This got 70 overall, but everybody got over. So here we go, 6-person tag team table match. The winning team is none other than Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. I figured they were due a win. Yes, technically Nattie's first match, but the heels needed to build some momentum. 2 star, and we got 66. Main event time, Braun Strowman and Damian Priest defeat the Skyscrapers in a tag team match. This got 2.5 stars and 71. Following the match, Dijak and Corbin, Strowman lets out a roar, pounding his chest, while Priest stands tall with the WCW Championship draped over his shoulder. Suddenly, the music of "Here Comes the Money" hits, and Shane comes down to the ring. He says, "Why, what a main event. What performance, Strowman. Priest, you guys just prove why when you work together you are an absolute force. And ladies and gentlemen, that gives me an idea. Next week on Thunder, we're going to have another colossal clash for you, because the dominating performance I've just witnessed tonight, next week it'll be Priest and Strowman teaming up once again to challenge the WCW Tag Team Champions in War Machine." So Shane then says, "That's right, next week the heavyweight champion, the Monster Among Men, will be challenging for Tag Team Gold. And it's going to be huge. Don't want to miss it, as Thunder is always delivering." And that is 73. So that is the end of Thunder. 68 overall, not so bad. You might have noticed the skin colour has changed here for my show. Thank you, Bateman, for creating a custom WCW Reborn skin for me. We've got some news. Promise to Delta succeeded. We made 2 million fans for Thunder. We are going up in popularity. Let's have a look, see if anything stands out. We've got AEW are planning to push Jack Perry. I mean, that sort of makes sense. They're planning to push Carl Fletcher. NWA are planning to build their company around EC3. I mean, yeah, that does also make a bit of sense. SmackDown here. Cody Rhodes defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. We'll go to the main event here. We got Cody beating Shinsuke, retaining the World Championship. We had Bad Bunny, Dragunov beating the Creed brothers, beating Rowan and Orton. Joe Gacy beating Talatonga. The Miz and Rusev beating Blade and Truth. Isla Dawn and Jade Cargill beating Lyra Valkyrie and Timmy Steele. Apollo Crews is still alive, beating Josh Briggs and Ray Phoenix. So every so often you do get some news, and you got your up and coming pushes. So that was interesting to see about AEW. Right, we'll go forward a couple of days just to see any other news coming through. Alright, no news for me. WCW make renewal for one of their talent. So, to be honest, I'm literally looking. We've got Vampiro falling out with Samson. We've got Scotty 2 Hotty retiring due to a serious head injury. That's a shame. We've got AEW Collision here. Bang Bang Gang lose to the Prototype. Carl Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. Kyle O'Reilly beating MVP. AR Fox beating Gabe Kidd. Yeah, I think I'll continue forward. There you go. AEW just grown to global size, so that may impact me. We've got the New Japan held Wrestle Kingdom. El Phantasmo's your TV champion still. Doku's your junior heavyweight. The Knockout Bros are still the tag team champions. Konosuke beat Jake Lee, still the world champ. And Hiroshi Tanahashi won the Open Strong Weight Championship. I believe in real life that would be his retirement match. So if you wanted to, you could obviously retire him in game, but he would also be facing Kadoshige Okada. So we got news. We are nowhere near beating WCW 7-1. The only thing I've beaten one is production quality. Well, you know, they're global, so I'm not actually surprised. Contract renewal for Chris Sabin. I mean, he would be good on my roster. However, I do not want to start trying to chuck crazy money at people for now. You got Dragon Gate growing to cult size. Alright, more news. Oh, she thinks she deserves a push. I shall reject the promise. There you go, look at that. So Rizzo here is going to be joining AEW. She's turned down probably a developmental contract with WWE. WWE have gone for Mark Sterling. And what else we got coming up here? We've got WWE Raw on Netflix. So let's have a look. See, we'll go. I like to start from the top, working my way down. Americano beating Bronson Reed. Bayley beating Lena Reed. Austin Theory beating Sheamus. Grayson Water beating Javon Evans. Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark beating AJ Lee and Maxine Dupree. Ricky Starks beating Channing Lorenzo. And Charlie Dempsey beating Trick. So we can still forward a couple more days before we finish up this episode. So Chris Sabin is staying with WWE. You got Shivani staying with AEW. Got some people getting pushed. NXT here. Oh, that's not a bad show. You got Jeff Hardy for losing to Jasper Troy. We've got Nikki Cross and Jordan Grace beating Fatal Influence, and the main event Santos Escobar defeating AJ Styles. That probably would be a pretty good match on paper, or in real life, I should say. Right, the last one. We'll have a quick gander. We've got Juice Robinson's contract coming up, and we've got Wardlow. So maybe I'll make a sneaky bid for them off camera. We'll have a look at AEW. They main evented the show. Bowens beating Samoa Joe. Bam Bam Gang beating the Dark Order. Dalton Castle beating Matt Caster. Ishii beating Cutler. Keith Lee, he's back in a Fatal 4-Way, beating Jeff Jarrett, Johnny TV, and Jacked. And yeah, Gabe Kidd and AR Fox had a rematch, and AR Fox won. So that is how we're going to leave it. This is the end of this episode. Let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know if you'd rather see me play as WWE. I'm sort of on the fence at the moment about starting. I know this is a new series, but maybe starting a fresh one as WWE. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. And as always,